Yesterday, 13th of October, detectives and from our unit and Gold Coast CIB conducted a raid at a Gold Coast address in the suburb of Labrador, where a woman was located and interviewed in relation to issuing of exemption certificates for wearing face masks, the PCR test and vaccination. This information had come to the unit via a member of the public who was very concerned about this behaviour, and we thank her for that. We would also encourage other people with similar information to come forward to police, either through Police Link or Crime Stoppers. This information triggered an ongoing investigation across a few suburbs in southeast Queensland, eventually leading us to a Labrador address and the execution of the search warrant yesterday. Prior to the execution of the search warrant, we spoke with APRA, Australian Health Practitioners Registration Agency, in relation to the individual. They made us aware that they had also received some information in relation to this person, and a check of their records revealed that this person was not registered as a practitioner, health practitioner within Australia. Acting on this information, we located the woman, as I indicated, and she made admissions to having issued approximately 600 certificates, exemption certificates, for those three types of matters. She's of the belief that she is entitled to issue those certificates. She does not hold a medical doctorate degree, and as I indicated earlier, she's not registered with APRA, which would permit her to be able to issue those certificates, nor is she registered with Medicare on her own admission. The lady was charging up to $150 per certificate, and we currently have details of those persons. What we have been able to establish so far is from across Australia, all mainland states, and obviously we'll be working with our sister agencies across Australia to identify those people and ensure that they're aware that their certificates are not valid. At this point, I'd like to throw it open to questions and see where we go.
This woman, did she have any sort of medical training or background at all while she wasn't registered? What was the justification on her behalf for being able to issue these certificates?
From what I've read of her documentation that she's prepared, she's basically anti-COVID and does not believe that people should be forced into vaccinations, and she's not compliant with the regulations in relation to those issues.
Okay, but she's not like a naturopath or a homeopath?
No, she, as I indicated, she does hold a doctorate, but she's not of medicine.
Oh, okay. Do you know what that is, the doctorate? Or?
Research.
Are investigations ongoing into those 600 people or 600 certificates, and what could be the repercussions for those people? Well,
yes, the investigations are ongoing in relation to the 600. We have to establish the validity of what she claims 600. We've got to see what evidence is on her computers and phones in relation to that. Once we've identified these people, if they have obtained those documents under false pretences, knowing that she is not authorised to issue them, and then they have used those documents to their benefit, then they can leave themselves open to prosecution in relation to fraud type offences.
What does that prosecution look like for them?
That's not for me to comment on. It's going to require further investigation as to what they were presented with, what their knowledge was of this lady, what they told the lady. So there's going to be quite a few inquiries ongoing.
And does this woman have a registered charity?
I believe she does.
Can you tell us more about that registered charity? Do you know much about it?
That's not related to the investigation, so we're not going to comment on that.
Do you think there will be separate investigations launched in relation to this woman for other charges?
Obviously, we've got further inquiries to make in relation to those 600 and potential further charges in relation to other offences she may have committed. In relation to the individuals, there could be further charges there. It would also be referring the matters to the other states for them to take action as to persons residing in other Australian states. So potentially there will be further charges, yes.
Sorry, so what penalty does she face? What's she facing at the moment?
Under the APRA offences. I believe it is a $10,000 fine and a period of imprisonment. Escapes me right now. But yes, there is a provision there for jail time.
And you said that there were warrants across multiple addresses.
No, we made inquiries across multiple suburbs before we located her in the Labrador area.
It was just all in relation to this one woman?
Yes, it took us a little time to locate her, and once located we executed the search warrant.
And how was she getting people to pay for these certificates?
Variety of means. The payment was either bank transfers, cash.
I assume she was pretty unrepentant, unremorseful?
She doesn't believe she's done anything wrong. She believes she's entitled to issue the certificates.
And does she say why she's entitled to issue those certificates?
She's indicating from what I've read that her qualifications and her interpretation of the legislation allows her to. However, that's contrary to the view of APRA, who are the registering body.
How worrying is this whole situation?
Very concerning, because obviously if those documents are being presented to employers as being exemptions from vaccination, then that exposes that person to risk of catching COVID because they're not properly vaccinated or suffering ill effects of COVID. It also places their colleagues and workmates at risk. So this is not a matter to be treated lightly, and we're taking it extremely seriously.
And I believe this is the first person in Queensland to be charged with these offences?
Yes, it is. Queensland Police have not previously taken action in relation to this.
And do you think she was acting on her own?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you think she was acting on her own, or do you think there's more people that will...
At this stage, we've only charged her in relation to these matters. Obviously, our inquiries are ongoing. It's very early days yet.
And she's not in custody, is she?
No, she was issued a notice to appear in Southport Magistrates Court on the 28th of October.
And I suppose, what's your message to people that feel the same way about her and would do something similar?
Well, there's a lot of talk that COVID is a hoax. It's not. One look at the world media and the number of deaths, or speak to a person who's had family die from it. It is not a hoax. This is a very serious matter, and that these should not be taken lightly. False certificates are false. They're not going to protect you from anything, whereas a vaccine will. We encourage everybody to get vaccinated.